feel that look in your eyes? Do you have a reason to hide? I've been out waiting for something to replace the substance that's drilling a hole in your mind. Now you're high all the time. Hi, my name is Michael. I'm lead singer and rhythm guitar in Head Down.
I'm Joe. I'm lead guitar and producer. And yeah, we're Head Down.
We're Head Down. You can probably see us next. Prince Albert would probably be the best one in Brighton. And I mean, to be fair, you can find me in most pubs in Brighton.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and just honestly, the Instagram account is probably the best way to keep up to date. So it's at Head Down Band, all one word, obviously. But yeah, we'll keep everyone posted on there with new releases and stuff. Inhale is the song we just played, and that's coming out the 20th of June.
There we go. Yeah, Inhale was... I mean, we kind of both did this together as... I think we both, in our own lives, kind of know people who maybe struggle with, let's say, substance abuse. Yeah, there we go. And it was kind of like an observational thing of like people getting themselves in this rut and not being able to necessarily kind of work their way out of it. And yeah, it was like, it's something that we don't really write about too much. So
we just write about what we see normally.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we kind of we were chatting about people we knew and who were in like maybe a bad place or something, and I guess this is kind of the product of that, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of like a almost a love song towards those people.
Yeah,
in a way, but
and
it's
also not.
Yeah, it's staged as a love song towards a girl, but it's what else is music, you know?
You take a breath, you lose your mind. Losing your head to kill the time. Can't speak when you inhale. Colors the fuck with your head. Exhale. Call me up time and again. Inhale. Which colors are painting your head. Exhale. The intricate lies that you spread. I guess the idea behind Head Down when we first started was me and Joe are both massive 1975 fans, so we were kind of leaning towards that, and that's kind of what you can hear in Running and Getting Under, a very kind of more pop focused. Then after kind of writing a couple like that, we moved a little bit further into this kind of, I'm not going to say like rock space, but maybe a bit heavier than the normal stuff. And I think Inhale is kind of the, I guess, end point for that almost.
It was just trying something.
Yeah, trying something we haven't done before, really. And yeah, it's not kind of your typical pop song, but we both love it. I know our bassist loves it as well.
Yeah, Soph. Shout out Soph.
Yeah.
We love Soph. She's just not here.
But insert picture of Soph. But yeah, it was just kind of maybe a breaking from the norm, really.
It's so long since we wrote that song.
Yeah, it has been about a year or so since we wrote it.
I remember we were writing it in my tiny little flat. So
literally a box.
Yeah, it was 3 by 3 square.
Yeah. I remember when we were writing this. So how we kind of normally write our stuff is, I can't produce Save My Life, so Joe handles all of that, and basically leaves me to do
lyrics,
kind of lyrics and top line, and I guess the easy stuff, right? So for me, at least, this was very different in terms of it was lyrically a very different kind of subject matter to what I would normally write about. I mean, it's our only song that we have in 6/8 as well, so that
that was fun for you.
of trying to get like a top line to fit in, because all the top lines that come to me are basically pop songs. So this is not.
Yeah, I think that was a challenge, trying to find something. It also, like, finding that lead guitar part, even though it's really simple, took me so long to get right, because it's in 6/8, it was not what we were used to writing as a band. So the lead guitar part took so long to get right, but I think it sounds good. So
We got there in the end.
yeah,
I'd say. Yeah.
There's two different ways it goes. Either I come up with like a musical idea, so it's like a full song of just instrumental, and Michael will top line to it, or Michael will come with me with like just an acoustic guitar and vocals, and we'll go from there. Which is sort of, it goes either way. I think Inhale was instrumental first, though.
Yeah, Inhale was definitely instrumental first. I mean, so I used to do kind of solo stuff before moving to Brighton. So kind of my writing method as an individual was very much, I learned guitar well enough to accompany myself and then didn't go any further with it. So basically all of the songs that kind of, if a song starts out with me, it will be very different to the end product that we get to. I mean, Getting Under was one that I kind of originally started with the idea of, and that changed completely when I ended up taking it to you.
Yeah, Getting Under is completely different.
Yeah, exactly. But it's just, I guess it's where I don't have the kind of production expertise, I'd say. I need someone to actually help out.
But it's good to have two brains in the room. Like,
No, it is, yeah. And this one was definitely, this was very much led by you in the studio, and kind of, I think we had the full instrumental before any top line or lyrics going on.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so from me, it's definitely kind of 1975. I grew up really into kind of pop punk music as well. So a lot of, I think, the top lines that we write are either very kind of 1975 or kind of Blossomsy, or they go the other way and they're kind of, I don't know, all-time low MCR kind of thing, just because it's what I grew up listening to. But obviously you've got a different approach of just kind of other musical genres.
So, like, I was very much, when I was like younger and like just learning guitar and everything, I was very much into like the more rock side, but also like indie pop. I loved like Catfish and the Bottlemen, Foo Fighters, all that stuff. But since moving to Brighton, I started working with Soph, who I think Ebbs mentioned last time, so you don't need to shout her out again, but I will. I started working with Soph, and she's very R&B, so my music taste changed quite a lot since moving to Brighton, so I'm very much more into the R&B scene now. And I don't know if it's, none of the songs that are out now for Head Down have that R&B influence, but some of the newer ones have some like R&B chords in it, which is kind of weird, but it works. So
we'll take our songs into a room, and we know our parts. Soph knows her parts. Soph also just can do whatever she wants.
Soph's insane. Yeah, Soph is incredibly good at bass. It annoys me sometimes. Like the first rehearsal we ever had with Soph was meant to be like an audition, and we were meant to audition like 4 other bassists, and she went through the whole rehearsal with our songs that we'd written before she came in, and didn't make a single mistake. And I think me and Michael made about 8 mistakes per song.
Yeah.
And after that rehearsal, we were like, yep, she's in the band.
Yeah. Cancel the other auditions.
Yeah, we actually did.
So I think rehearsal for us, having the kind of safety net of a backing track, gives us the leeway to kind of, I don't know, play around a bit. And I mean, me and Joe basically just make tits of ourselves, but Soph normally comes up with something good.
Yeah, I mean, me and Michael disagree on a lot of things.
Big
like,
time, yeah.
It's just musical, but like, well, another thing. But no, yeah, we disagree quite a lot. But then what we tend to do is we'll like try both ideas, and then agree on which one's better. If we can't agree still, we'll then like get Soph's opinion on it, and then it's like a 3, because there's 3 of us. It's someone's gonna get outvoted, and then whichever one sticks, and everyone's normally happy with that.
Yeah.
There's never like a disagreement after that.
No, I mean, once we kind of come to a decision where there's no kind of bad blood or anything in this, we're pretty kind of committed to. I mean, like we spoke about, kind of having 2 heads in the room, you're bound to disagree we're not, we come from different musical backgrounds. We're going to have different ideas of what to do with certain situations.
Also, on like a songwriter perspective and a producer perspective, it's
exactly.
different.
Releases we've got, so obviously Inhale's coming out on the 20th.
Yep.
Yeah. Then we're putting an EP out after that.
Yeah.
Which will be fun.
To be decided date wise.
Yeah, we need to figure out a date for that.
In the pipeline.
Yeah, exactly.
It's there. The songs are there.
Yeah, the songs there. I mean, we've got probably 2 projects worth of, as in kind of this EP and maybe another one after that that we're currently sitting on and need to maybe buck our ideas up and actually finish them.
Yeah.
But we've got kind of this roadmap that will lead us to hopefully a lot more releases, a lot more gigs. We've got a gig coming up in July 30th, is it?
To be confirmed as well.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, allegedly. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's the start of something, and hopefully kind of it will be the catalyst for us to kind of keep momentum going and just build on it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even the demos for the newer stuff we've got that is after this first EP, they sound not completely different, but they're like a lot different. Like, I don't know how to explain how different they are.
Well, it's kind of weird.
They've got a lot more of an 80s feel to it.
Yeah, we kind of almost did an experiment with our first 4 releases of, I'd say, Running and Getting Under, as kind of mentioned before, very much the more pop side of indie pop, let's say. And then Perpetual Online and this one, Inhale, are moving towards that kind of heavier sound. We're getting to a point with the stuff that we're kind of still writing and recording where we're probably leaning a bit further towards the pop stuff, just because it's what we both naturally listen to more.
Yeah.
And I think when we get to the point where we're releasing a couple of the songs we're sitting on, I think, that 80s feel will come into it. We're kind of trying to maybe push ourselves, take more risks in the kind of more, not just thinking about kind of a song as in producing it and releasing it, but also working towards a live show and making that more of kind of having a bit more of a bounce to the room or to the venue. I think that's kind of big for us.
More of an event.
There we go. More of an event or a spectacle, let's say.
Yeah, we're definitely leaning towards the more upbeat stuff as well now.
Yeah, definitely. But I think it's just like, who doesn't want to, just want to have a good time.
Yeah.
Inhale, call us the fuck with your hand.